Okay, in this video we're going to talk about a concept called inversions, chord inversions. So it pretty much means, what the chord inversion means is shaping the chord in a different order. So typically this is how we shape a chord: 1, 3, 5. Okay, with the one position being the root position. That's the C, that's the root of the chord. Now that's the typical chord shape of a triad. This is also called the root shape, or you could call it the root inversion. Now what if I decided to play the G, instead of playing it over there? What if I decide to play it over here? Okay, so what if instead of playing this G over here at the bottom, I play it right here at the top? It's still the same key, it's still the same C major, except the only difference is, in this case, the root note is in the first position, it's at the top, while in this case the root note is in the middle. Okay, this is what we call an inversion. This specifically is called the second inversion. So we have three major types of inversion. This is the first. This is the root inversion. Now if we were to play the so this is the root inversion. If we were to play this, the middle, the E, in a different position, wherever else there is an E, then we would have what you call a first inversion. But in this case we are not inverting the E. In this case we are inverting the G. So we are playing the G at the top instead, so that the root note is in the middle. This is what you call a second inversion. Okay? So we have the root inversion and we have the second inversion. The only difference is, in the root inversion, the C is in the middle, the C is at the top, the root note is at the top, whereas in the second inversion the root note is in the middle. Okay? Root inversion, second inversion, root inversion, second inversion of F major. Let's go to position number 5 now, which is G major. That's second inversion. So what to know about the second inversion is your root note is now at the middle. That's F major, G major, E minor, A minor, F major, G major, back to C major. Now what's the purpose of inversion? The main purpose of this inversion is to make it easy to move from chord to chord. Notice if I was to play the 1, 4, 5 progression using the roots inversion to be movement in the root inversion. Notice the amount of movement I need to make. Pay attention to my hand over here while I'm moving. See the amount of leap I had to make from 1 to 4. Okay, that's a big jump. What if I decided to play the 1, chord number 1 in the root inversion, and then play chord number 4 in the second inversion? Let's try that and see what happens. See how little of a movement I had to make? Pay attention to my hand again and see. 1, 4, 5, 1. Let's try that again. C major, F major, G major. So obviously with the inversion, the movement is a lot less. All I had to do was move just 2 fingers. So that's one of the main reasons for inversion. Let me try that with another set of chords. So in this case, I'm moving from an E minor to an A minor. Okay, that's position number 3 to position number 6. See how much movement that requires? But what if I decide to play position number 3 in the root inversion and position number 6 in the second inversion? See, I barely make any movement in order to do that. So that's the purpose of inversions. So let's try it in a full song now. El Shaddai. Okay. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Elihuna Adonai. H to H, you is still the same by the power of your name. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Elihuna Adonai. H to H was still the same. El Shaddai. And I resolve in position number 1. So that's the purpose of inversions. It is important to learn all the inversions, and then later on, knowing which inversion to use to minimize your movement, that will come naturally. Okay? Okay, so that's it for inversions. Now if you noticed, we only talked about the root inversion and the second inversion. Now there are many other inversions besides the root and the second, but I decided to focus only on the second inversion, the root and the second, because those are the two most important ones. If you know how to work with combine the root and the second inversion, you should be perfectly fine. Learning the others I've found to be quite unnecessary, especially at the beginner stage. For me, it has never served a purpose learning the other inversions. So combining the root inversion and the second inversion will pretty much cover all the movements you need to make on the piano. Now, how do you form this inversion? A simple trick is to count 4 semitones, or leave 4 semitones between your root key, your root note, which is in the middle, and the note number 5, which is at the top. Okay? In the root position, you have 2 notes. If it's a major, you have 2 notes. If it's a minor, you have 1 note. But in the second inversion position, you have 4 notes, 4 semitones, I'm sorry. 4 semitones between the top and the middle. Okay? So that's, watch me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the good thing is that works whether it's a major or a minor, okay? So that 4 notes will tell you, and then of course the other 2 is exactly the same. You leave that unchanged. So I think that should be it.